In the car to start the video. What are we doing? We are sat outside of Aldi, about to go and do the food shop. It is just gone 8 o'clock Friday morning, which means it's open. The car park is pretty quiet this morning. Sometimes when you come to Aldi, if that's where you do your shop, it's mayhem. And there's people dawdling, there's people slowly pushing the trolleys, there's people stood in front of the fridge section for ages. I just like to get in and out. I know what I need. The food shop for me and Emma doesn't change very often. It's the same stuff every single week. So we know what we need. In, out, bang, done. With working shifts, it gives me chance to be able to come at this time. I was on night shift last night. 2nd of 5. Then it's home, coffee, food, gym. Hitting a pull session today, push yesterday, pull today, run tomorrow, then I'm going to bang 2 days resting. Because I'm on nights, because I've been training so much, I've just been doing like 1 rest day, then back to it. I'm going to throw in 2 rest days, see what happens. Weight last week dropped all the way down to 86 kg, then it went to 86.2, then we went back up to about 86.5, 86.6. But since being on nights, it's just hovering around 87. This happens, it fluctuates up. I'm drinking water in the morning, stuff like that. So the weight is never going to be bang on accurate. But I'm going to get this food shop done now. Hope that it's not busy. In, out. I'll see yous for the coffee. Back from Aldi, we managed to survive. It was pretty quiet, to be fair. Not like when you go on a Friday evening. Shelves weren't as stocked up as I would have liked, a few bits missing, but nothing too major. We got the main stuff that we want. A little tip, trick, hack for when you're dieting that I've been doing. Coffees. I like my coffees. I like my Starbucks. I like my Costa. There's a nice independent one not far from us that we like that does mint coffees. It's nice to sit in and all that. When you're in a diet, your lattes, your caps, stuff like that I do like. The 150 to 200 calories that you're using on them isn't the best for me. I'd much rather get that 150 to 200 calories from food when I'm in a diet, because obviously you're hungry and stuff like that. So a little trick I've been using when I go to Costa or Starbucks or wherever, I ask for Americano with either coconut milk or almond milk. Sometimes I get them to put it on the side so I can put my own in a little bit nicer, and then get a sugar-free syrup in it. Obviously, it's not as good as your cap or your latte, but it is better than just a black coffee. I'm not at the black coffee level yet where I just want to drink straight Americanos. But we've got a coffee machine at home with the milk frother. So what I've been doing is frothing the almond milk, a little bit of sugar-free cinnamon syrup, which is in there. Christmassy vibes, yeah, I know, the middle of May, but tastes mint. And then just putting the coffee in it. And that tastes nicer than the ones I've been getting from the coffee shops. So that's my go-to in terms of coffees at the moment. What I want to talk to you about in this video is why your diet fails, why your diet is over within the first 2 to 3 weeks. And I see it so often with people. It is a reoccurring thing that I see with people. I've been there myself. And to me, I think there's a lot of reasons why this can happen. Yeah, there is. But there's maybe 3 main reasons that I think ruin it for people most of the time. Like, if you ask somebody, from what I've seen with clients, one of these 3 reasons is probably why their diet has messed up before. I've had them come to me and say, I tried and then I stopped and I didn't see anything. And these are the 3 reasons I think. Number 3 to me is probably the most important one, and one that you're going to think, what? But trust me, people don't realize it. So stick around for number 3 because you're going to want to hear it. Number 1 though is your weekends. Weekends absolutely ruin it for so many people. I see it all the time. I've done it myself. I see it with clients that come to me. When they come to me, clients, I get them to do a nutrition assessment. It allows me to see what's going on in their day-to-day life for a week, food-wise, their habits, their routines, stuff like that. And I get them to track proteins, carbs, fats, calories, weight every day, steps, training, and then log the food for 7 days of what they've eaten. And what I see so many times with so many clients is they've not got an issue with knowing what to do for the diet. It's just staying on it at the weekend that absolutely ruins the progress. They're eating well Monday to Friday, then Saturday comes around, bang, calories go over, Sunday, calories go over, and you think you were doing good and you killed it at the weekend. That is one of the biggest things. If you're eating 2,000 calories to diet, and then weekend rolls around and you eat 4,000 Saturday, 4,000 Sunday, you're not dieting anymore. There's ways around this. Of course, there's ways around this. How I would go about it is bank calories. Save some calories for a Saturday. I'm not sitting here and saying you can go out and smash off 10, 15 beers. I've got no issue with beers. If my clients come to me saying, I've got a night out, this, sweet. Because if I have a night out, I'm not going on a night out with my mates and drinking, oh, just have 4 pints and call it. Well, no, I don't want to do that. I want to have 10 pints. I want to have 15 pints. Don't tell me what to do when I'm on a night out. One of my few nights out that I do go on. You can still go about it in the right way. You just have to save some calories. So let's use the example of the 2,000 calories that you're having every single day. Do 2,000 Monday, 2,000 Tuesday. If you know it's going to be a big one, knock yourself down to 1,800 Wednesday, knock yourself down to 1,600 Thursday, same again Friday. Bang, you've banked yourself a big chunk of calories there for Saturday, which means you can go out and have a meal. You could make something at home. You could maybe have a dessert. You could have 1 or 2 beers. You could have a couple of glasses of wine if that's what you like to do. It's fitting within your calories. You have to understand as you go deeper into a diet and the calories are lower, this is going to become very, very difficult, because then the days where you're lowering the calories, you might be on very, very low calories, but there's always ways around this if you have big events on, nights out, stuff like that. Let's just say, for example, you can still enjoy things. You just have to have some structure around what you're doing. Imagine this. This is how it works. You start your Monday. This is what we're saying. 2,000 calories, scale weight, scale weight. Look at it. Start to slowly come down. Friday comes round, bang. Up we go, back to where we were. Then we go there, then we come down. And it's just a constant repetitive cycle. This is the cycle that people stay in, and then they wonder, why am I not seeing any changes? Why is stuff not changing? Why do I still look the same? Because you're not actually in the deficit, because you've ruined it so much at the weekend. Your weekend has ruined your progress. You've had 8 or 9 days worth of calories in your 7-day week. So how are you in a deficit for the week? You're not. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, I'm going to come to when I'm eating my breakfast. Let me show you. I'm getting better at this cream of rice making, and I'll show you how good it is today. But I'm going to enjoy my coffee now and then get to it. So my pre-workout meal is where I'm going to explain to you reason number 2 as to why I think people's diets fail. New fridge. The fridge broke in the middle of the week. Freezer was fine. Fridge went. Everything was warm. We managed to save most of the food, so no issue there. But why am I showing you the fridge? Because that's where the goods are. The cream of rice. The new way of making it. I found the perfect way to make it. Bigger bowl, wider one, instead of just a normal cereal one. Whack the cream of rice in, whack the hot water in, properly stir it round so it goes smooth. Ding it in the microwave, 3-4 minutes. Smack your whey drip on top of it with your blueberries. Stick it in the fridge. The whey drip goes like nice and hard, goes like dead cakey. Whack your little bit of honey on it. Bang. Pre-workout. This is my pre-workout at the moment. I'm training in the morning, so this. Look at that full fridge after Aldi. Whoa, look at that. Let's get into the light. Let's get into the light. Even added a little cinnamon upgrade to it. Perfect pre-workout meal right there. Reason number 2 as to why I think that your diet fails. The diet that you're following, the plan that you're following, doesn't suit your life. And something that doesn't suit you in your life is not going to be sustainable. Let me tell you now. You can try and have the best plan ever, but if it's not suited to you, how are you expected to stick to it? I've seen this so many times. The main thing I see with people is going on holiday. The holiday's 8 to 10 weeks away, and they think to themselves, I know what I'll do. No carbs. I'll cut carbs completely out of my diet. So you're trying to run a no-carb diet for 8 to 10 weeks. It's never going to happen. No carbs before marbs. We've all seen it. The only way is Essex. They say it on there. Do not do this. You do not need to cut carbs out your diet when you're dieting, when you're in a deficit, when you want to lose weight. Do not completely remove carbs. Lower your calories. Put yourself in a calorie deficit. Keep carbs in. Have carbs in around your training. Have carbs in post-training. Have carbs in to keep you a little bit fuller. Keep your protein high, but do not remove carbs. I see this so much. If you think you are going to go a long period of time in a diet without having carbs, it's going one way. And that's why you end up back to square one after 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. It's extreme. It's extreme behavior. Lower your calories. Do not remove carbs completely. Another reason, still in number 2 here, is people are following training plans, meal plans that aren't fitting into their life. So why are you following a training plan that means you've got to go gym 5 times a week and do 4 loads of cardio a week when you can only go gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week, and you can maybe only do 2 or 3 cardio sessions a week? You can't follow something that you can't stick to. You become overwhelmed with what's going on, and then that's why you end up falling off it and fucking it off. This is why it happens. Same with your meal plan. If you are following a meal plan that isn't food you like, is foods that are pretty boring to you, you don't enjoy, you're not a bodybuilder, yeah, it'd be amazing if you could just eat the same foods. You know how it is. There's your meal plan. You've got your eggs on toast in the morning, then you've got chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. How many of you are going to stick to that? How many of you are going to stick to that? You're not bodybuilders. I'd struggle to stick with that. I did it last year. I struggled to stick with that. You're not going to be able to stick to that. Find a meal plan. Find meals that you like, that you can make on repeat. So if you like your eggs and bacon in the morning, bacon medallions, bit of sourdough, make that. Then you might have to cut the yolks out of it and go to egg whites. And at your lunch, do you maybe like chicken and rice? Do you like chicken pittas? Do you like tuna? Do you like whatever it is? I'm just giving some rough ideas. Keep the meals in that you know are good. Don't be going eating McDonald's. Don't be going eating stuff like that. Have meals on repeat. Find meals you can make on repeat. High protein, good amount of carbs in them, good fats, and stick it into your calories. That's how simple it is. I'm telling you now, the best way to do it is to follow eating the same thing every single day. But eat the same thing of the stuff you like. So why would you be eating stuff that you didn't like to try and stay in a diet? Again, 2 weeks down the line, it's gonna be over. Don't cut carbs, don't go extreme. Don't follow a training plan that doesn't suit your life, and don't follow a meal plan that doesn't suit your life. Everything you do to stay in a diet and actually get to your goal has to be suited to you and your life. Let me tell you now, because if it's not, you're never going to stick to it. Trust me. So that's number 2. Number 3 is coming up when I'm on the way to the gym. I'll explain it all to you then. I'm going to enjoy this because I've talked for long enough and I'm absolutely starving because it's my first meal of the day. En route to the gym right now, flying for a little sunbed now that the sun's out. I've not been on for a few weeks, but I do like to have a little bit of the tan in the summer. So we're going to do a little 7 to 8 minute holiday, get a little tan top up before heading over to the gym. But back to the purpose of this video, point number 3. And why I said this is the most important one is this, because you're going to sit and think, what's he talking about? How's that a thing? You're not actually in a calorie deficit as much as you think you are. You aren't. If the scale weight isn't dropping, you've put yourself in what you think is a calorie deficit, you're sticking to it, you're sticking to your meals, you're sticking to the calories every day, you're doing your cardio, you're doing your steps, and the scale weight does not move, you're not in a calorie deficit. That is plain and simple, that is the way it is. And another reason why I say that you're not in a calorie deficit is a lot of people don't track certain things. They've got their baseline, they go on the MyFitnessPal, they track it, but you know, that little odd mouthful here and there, that little bit of extra summit here and there that, you know, didn't so happen to end up on the tracker, that day when you were slightly over your calories, it all adds up. It adds up over a week. And as well as actually not being in a calorie deficit because you're not actually put yourself in a proper calorie deficit, you may be in a calorie deficit, but the little things that you aren't added up throughout the day add up to you not being in a calorie deficit anymore. And that can happen so easily, so easily. Little portions, little servings here and there, like so easily. So that to me is one of the main ones that people just think it's so many other factors bar that one main thing of, am I actually in a calorie deficit? Am I actually sticking to this as bang on as I possibly should be? Am I not having any extra snacks throughout the day? Am I not accounting for things that I'm having? Like, it's a massive one that people just overlook. Like, you're probably not just in a calorie deficit. To lose weight, to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. It's as simple as that. Those 3 points I've given you there, I'm giving you because I want to help people out. That is what it's all about. I want to give people advice. I want to give people experiences that I've gone through to help them on this journey of getting in shape, bettering themselves, all that. And
Those three things to me are the things that pop up all the time with people, and the things that people can so easily sort out. They really, really can. And then you're just on the straight and narrow of being in your calorie deficit and losing weight. And I'm not sitting here and saying you're on the straight and narrow and it's going to be easy. Of course it's not going to be easy. It isn't. You're in a diet. You're going to be hungry. You're going to be tired at times. You're going to be feeling a little bit shitty. Towards the back end, even more so, your training might fall off. But that's all part and parcel of it. And I'll tell you now, the result and how you feel at the end is way better than the shit feeling of feeling tired or feeling hungry or wanting food. It's just the way it is. Stick to it. Do the things. If you're having issues with it, look at them three things I've mentioned there. Do these things. And trust me, you're going to be sweet. You're going to be sweet. And your diet will last longer than 2 weeks. We have got pre-workout, goth. You know I like my goths. I'm not having a pre-workout today. In terms of like an actual pre-workout drink. This is my pre-workout for my caffeine, because with being on nights, I need to get some rest this afternoon, and I don't want to be tuned up, lay in bed, not being able to get some downtime before my nights tonight. But I'll show you a couple of clips in the session, you know, like I always like to do, and I'll give you a little run through of how things are going, how the physique's looking. By far, I would say this past week or so, week and a half, the best I've looked. Maybe close to the best I've ever looked in terms of leanness, best I've ever looked in terms of how big I am, because I spent such a long period of time in a bulk. But in terms of how lean I am, I'm not far off the leanest I've ever been. Really am. I'm really, really, really not in terms of that. So that's always good. But Sonny's now 7 to 8 minute holiday, pre-workout on the way, got the pumpage there as well. Gym session getting sent. I'll see you after. What the physique's looking at post pull, leaning up nicely, shoulders, you can see the veins coming through, separation is there, feeling good. Boom, back from the gym a few hours ago. We've had a little chill, ready for these night shifts, and I'm just in the process now of prepping food for the next 3 nights. We've got noodles in there with some stir-fry veg. We use them Singapore ones from Aldi. Then we've put some of this chili sauce through it. There's 3 nights worth there. Prawns there, which I'm just going to whack on every night because they're frozen ones. 520 cals, dead easy tea. Don't have to think about prepping any food now for the next 3 nights. Easy, easy stuff. Recommend anyone to do this. Even if you're not doing night shift, do this in the week. Sort yourself out. This has taken me 15 minutes. 15 minutes. If you wanted to put some chicken in it, a little bit longer. Sort yourself out for a few nights. Dead, dead, dead simple. That is the draw, end, done, finito of this video. I hope the stuff in the video has helped you. And if you do find yourself ruining your diet after 2-3 weeks, never seen it through, then some of the points I've mentioned in here are probably what's causing it. So give them a listen, look at yourself, see if it is, sort it out. And if you need any help with anything, drop me a message on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram, like this video, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do, and I'll be back next week for another one.